Good morning, Raider Nation. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas. You know me from the Put on Raiders podcast, Student Body Right, USC podcast, the Signal Caller podcast, all those different podcasts there on YouTube on this channel. But we're gonna try to do something a little different. Try to get you started with your day as far as Raider Nation goes. So we're gonna do a little good morning, Raider Nation. Let's just start off with some commentary, some conversation about the current quarterback of the Raiders, Aiden O'Connell. Y'all need to stop. So when I say y'all need to stop is we need to stop being online on Twitter and telling people or trying to convince ourselves that this guy is the guy, that this guy is the future quarterback of the Raiders. Now, he might start a couple games this year, depending on what they want to do as far as drafting a quarterback. But we gotta do right. We gotta do right. We can't play games. We can't mess around. This is you don't usually get, six guys who are capable of being drafted in the first round. You have that opportunity. It's just time to invest. One thing I don't understand about some people in Raider Nation, some fans that like we can take a bust at any other position, but if it's at quarterback, it's like the end of the free world. People pivot off of quarterbacks all the time, and if Bo Nix, if Michael Penix, if JJ McCarthy, if Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, if any of those guys fall by the wayside, then you can just go ahead and pivot. You pivot to somebody else. But to sit here and just like keep going after the same moniker that we did maybe with Derek Carr, maybe with somebody, you can't do it. So let's just be smart. Let's not protrude this whole idea that he is a big time quarterback, that he has capability of big time quarterback. Like, oh, he might turn out to be Tom Brady. Like, instead of trying for what we really need to do, stop chasing outliers. If you have 5 seasons as a head coach and you make the playoffs in your first year and then you don't make it again in the next 4 years, that first year was an outlier. that wasn't reality. What you really are is, in those 4 years, that's what you really are as a head coach. As far as Aiden O'Connell goes, like the ninth, like last year, he was rated as the 9th best quarterback in this draft in the draft. 9th best, and he got drafted by by the Raiders, who had Patriot ties and thought he was going to be the next Brian Hoyer. Let's just be real with it, and let's not play games. Hopefully, AP and Tom Telesco are ready for business. They can move up. They can do these things that they need to do. If they can't move up, stay at 13 and be able to, do what they need to do there. But you gotta be 100% honest. You gotta be 100% real. Like a guy who can't move, a guy who has questionable arm strength. He's a try hard guy. Yeah, he'll try hard. I mean, I don't think there's any question about it. He's going to go into training camp as if he was the head, if he was the starter. He's going to do everything he can to be the starting quarterback of the Raiders, and he's a hard worker. And somebody's going to have to beat him out, even if it's a first round pick. You would think they would give him the job or just talk or just say, hey, this is the future. But he's a guy who could spell your offense in two, 3, maybe 4 weeks if you had an injury at your starting quarterback position. But at the end of the day, I think we all know in our heart of hearts that we can't get frustrated with ourselves and get mad because we're trying to make somebody into something that they're really not. Like, it's okay to be a fan of this team. And so I've been a fan of this team forever. It's also okay to be a fan who has realistic expectations, who knows what it looks like. I mean, I think for us as Raider fans, we have not known what it looks like to be a really good team and have a really good quarterback for a long period of time. So we go into these false sets of like, oh my God, maybe Aiden could be the guy. He throws a touchdown pass to Devontae Adams, and oh yeah, just give him time, give him a second. You know, he came into a tough situation last year. Like, cousin, stop. Just flat out stop. He ain't the guy. It's okay for him not to be the guy because he'll be a solid backup for the Raiders. So that's what I would look at it too. He has opportunity to be a solid backup for the Raiders. Let him do that. He's just not a guy who we can count on to be our full-time starter for the Raiders. Chris Jones signed a huge contract, so with the Chiefs, so that dream is gone. I would say Wilkins from the Dolphins would be the next target for the Raiders. I think they want to get a guy who can get interior pressure. They let go of Jerry Tillery since Jerry Tillery was cut by the Chargers and Tom Telesco. Now Tom Telesco is with the Raiders. I would think that he saw the writing on the wall immediately as soon as Tom Telesco became the Raiders general manager. So I'm sure AP, the whole Raiders staff, Tom Telesco will be hard at it this week. It'll be a very busy offseason for them, and free agency is the legal tampering period starts tomorrow. So that should be fun. That should be fun times to see what's going on with the Raiders. So listen, stop. I mean, the try hard guys are cool, but you need that guy who is going to be the guy. And when you have the guy at quarterback, Raider Nation, trust me, you'll know what it looks like.